All right, everyone, we have a very special message today, and it feels like it's coming from the nowhere itself. The developers at Supermassive Games and Bandai Namco have sent down an update that's all about refining our fears. So let's dive in and see what new horrors they've polished up for us. You gotta love this. They set the perfect tone right from the get-go. This isn't just a list of patch notes, it's a message from inside the game's world, you know? It's like they're watching us. A pretty brilliant and creepy way to frame what's coming next. So here's the game plan for our little tour. We're going to start with the big idea behind the update, then get into the nitty-gritty of the technical and gameplay fixes. After that, we'll see how co-op got even better, look at all those final layers of polish, and finally, we'll talk about the most important part, when you can actually play it. Okay, so a perfected spiral. What does that even mean? Well, it means this whole update is basically a direct response to us, the players. Supermassive and Bandai Namco have clearly been listening to all the feedback to polish and fine-tune our journey, making the whole nightmare feel that much more seamless. Next up, we're talking about the bedrock of the whole experience, stable foundations. I mean, think about it. To really get lost in a nightmare, you can't have the game stuttering and pulling you out of the moment, right? This is all about making sure that foundation is absolutely rock solid. And here's the proof in the pudding. On the right, you can see the fixes, PlayStation stability issues, gone. PC performance dips, they've been optimized. They even added support for Intel XS 2.0, which is just this awesome tech that helps boost your frame rates if you've got the hardware for it. Bottom line, it means a way smoother, more reliable nightmare for a huge chunk of us. Okay, so the foundation is solid. Now it's time to build on it. This next part is all about the moment-to-moment gameplay, how you interact with the world, and maybe more importantly, how all those dangers interact with you. And here we see some really crucial quality of life improvements. Things like interacting with objects and solving puzzles are going to feel much more intuitive. But honestly, the biggest thing here is that they've resolved those logic progression blocks. Seriously, nothing kills the tension faster than a bug stopping you in your tracks, and it looks like they've hunted those down. And of course, what's a nightmare without its monsters? Now, this isn't about making the enemies harder, it's about making them more consistent. By fixing issues with their pathing and animations, those tense chase sequences and stealth sections are going to feel more predictable. And that, funnily enough, actually makes them even more terrifying. You'll have to genuinely outsmart them now, not just hope they don't glitch out. Now let's talk about facing those fears with a friend. Co-op is obviously a huge part of Little Nightmares 3, and this update is laser-focused on making sure you and your partner are sharing the exact same terrifying moments perfectly in sync. It really breaks down into three key things. First, better animation and interaction sync, so what you see your partner doing is what's actually happening. Second, those annoying co-op specific progression blockers are gone. And third, they finally solve those desync issues during big moments like puzzles and chases. So yeah, when you both pull off a daring escape, you can trust that you both experienced it the exact same way. All right, now we're getting into the fine details. You know, those last layers of paint that make the world feel truly alive. This is all about perfecting that incredible atmosphere through the audio, the visuals, and even the menus. This chart gives us a nice little breakdown of where they focus their efforts. The biggest slice of the pie, at 35%, went to graphics and animation, which makes sense. But they also put a ton of work into audio and the user interface. And hey, even the achievement system got some love. It really shows how thorough they've been. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're talking improved animations and camera work to make the game feel even more cinematic. They've also squashed a bunch of sound and rendering bugs, and this is a big one, better stability between rooms. That means no more jarring cuts to pull you out of the atmosphere as you sneak from one creepy place to the next. And finally, a look at the user interface. Achievement hunters, you're going to be happy about this one. The unlock conditions have been corrected. On top of that, they've improved the menus, the fonts, and the whole interface to make it a much cleaner and more responsive experience. Little things that make a big difference. Okay, we've seen all the amazing improvements, but the big question is, when can we actually play it? Let's get to the dates. Here it is, nice and simple. For everyone on Steam, PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC, you get the update on November 19th, 2025. And for all you Nintendo Switch and upcoming Switch 2 players, You just have to wait a tiny bit longer until November 27th, 2025. The developers wrap up their message with a really heartfelt thank you to the community. They make it super clear that our feedback is what drives all these improvements, and they want us to keep sharing our thoughts on the official Discord and their support channels. It's just a great reminder that this is a real partnership. And that brings us to the end of our tour. With a more stable, a more fluid, and an even more terrifying experience waiting just around the corner, the only real question left is the one right there on the screen. With all these fixes and polishes, are you ready to step back into the nowhere?